draft Miami Dolphins, and there's a lot to talk about. There's some trades made going up, trades made going down, a lot of stuff to talk about, and let's just jump into it. We'll go around, talk about just real quick what we thought of the draft. I'll start. Liked it. Some picks I didn't like. I think they could have took somebody else, like the corner and the safety we took. I think there was better guys available. But that I really liked who we took, especially Gordon and Jordan Phillips. And how didn't we mock him going to the Dolphins and moving up for Jonah? Which
no, this guy mocked him.
Who?
A lot. You
mocked who?
Yep. Jordan Phillips when you were doing your
when I do my mocks, because he was a late round guy, and I'm like, right. Okay, there's solid value there.
Yeah.
He was picked in. I mean, okay, well, who's going next and what they liked or what they didn't like?
You can go next, Omar.
I like their 2 first-round picks. Kenneth Grant was a guy who was definitely going to be in the top 20 no matter what anybody thought.
Yes. Jonah,
still struggling to figure out how to say his last name, but I finally got the spelling right. Okay. Savanaya. He was one of the top 10 elite offensive linemen in this draft, the guys who could be a day one starter. I absolutely said before the draft, Steve Ross, if these guys do not find somebody who could be a day one starter, fire them all. Do not even wait. Do not pass go. So they added him. Do I like what they gave up for him? No. Do I like the fact that they traded out of their third-day pick and picked up an extra third? No. But I saw the value. They dominated the trade. 2024, the next GM is going to love that third-round pick. And the one thing I can say about what they did is they moved with conviction, which I respect. You came into the draft and you basically said we didn't really like any of these cornerbacks. We're comfortable going with late round cornerbacks and figuring it out. We're comfortable going with veteran players and figuring it out. We're not really into investing some of these earlier cornerbacks. And you know what? As long as you sign some veteran free agents and supplement that unit, what can I say? It is what it is. I like the traits that they have in some of the younger players. The running back, I'm a big fan of now that I've actually looked at his film. Cornerback, not really so much a big fan of, but then, it's really you're trying to add a practice squad player that nobody else is going to claim. So I get it. You understand what I'm saying? So overall, I thought it was a pretty solid draft. I like the fact that Chris Greer stayed Chris Greer.
Alan, what's your thought?
Mean?
That means he stays to his convictions and doesn't get desperate.
Couldn't you argue he got desperate making a trade up for Sanavea in the second round? Here's my issue. There's some parts of it I like. I like Kenneth Grant as my shoulder disappears. Have pity on me. Got a brand new light, and the face is very clear. The shoulders are disappearing. So, oh well. Anyway, love the pick of Kenneth Grant, and I made this point on the All Dolphins podcast that even if in a worst case scenario he becomes just a stud run stuffer, Casey Hampton was like the 17th pick in the draft once upon a time, and had a great career. And asked the Pittsburgh Steelers if they regret spending that pick on him. Even Dolphins picked Tim Bowens 20th overall. He was pretty much just a run stuffer, had a 10-year career, and was a complete stud. So I like to pick up Kenneth Grant. To me, this draft was about volume more than anything else. They needed to replenish their core of young, cheap talent. And going into the draft with 4 picks between the second, third, and fourth rounds and turning that into 1 pick to get your guard. I mean, let me put it this way. That guy better be a dude, and I mean from the start. Especially, I'm going to keep my eye on Tate Ratledge, who's a guard from Georgia, who's also highly thought of, who went 57 in the second round to the Detroit Lions, which means the Dolphins could have had him staying put at 48 and keeping those picks. If that guy becomes close to Jonah as an NFL player, then to me, that's a whiff for the Dolphins right there.
TD?
I thought this was the best draft Chris Greer ever had. I feel like I'm in line with Omar in regards to Chris Grier. Was Chris Grier kind of the flip of that though, because he doesn't usually stick to his convictions. So he finally got to being who he needed to be. Kenneth Grant is an obvious for me. Don't need to break much down there. Jonah, I disagree with a lot of people. When you are targeting someone and you believe that he is your guy, you go get him by all means necessary. Because I'm pretty confident in the last 3 years when we've been kicking tables about Grier not doing this or doing that, he probably had some people in mind waiting and then lost out on him. You saw what happened with New England. I don't know if y'all saw what came out with them. They were in their war room arguing about that 38th pick right before Jonah, and they were arguing about Jonah, about taking him. When I saw that came out, that was all the validation I needed to hear. I don't care how many picks it took to move up.
Who they end up taking?
I'm not sure.
Henderson, running back from Ohio State, as chronicled on Miami Dolphins on SI.com.
Yeah, so to find that out, and I don't think Mike McDaniel nor Chris Grier is lying when they say they got text messages and calls and said that was our guy. So this notion of reaching, 3 other teams have been reported we're going to take them right there in the next succession of picks. So that was a big win for Chris Grier because I know he missed out on some in the past. And this time he didn't want to miss out on the guys that he loved and who he wanted. And so that took away a 3rd round pick, but that's okay because that 3rd round pick, we don't know, that's where you start to get into that territory of we don't, I don't know if this guy's going to be a day one starter or not. So go with what you know, or at least believe you know. Now that 4th round.
God, this is the smartest thing TD has ever said in my presence.
Oh, it gets better, Omar. Don't worry. I'm almost there. You know what's happening. You know what's
all right. I'm all in.
Omar, because he's agreeing with you, and I'm the other way. I'm like going, what the hell is he talking about?
TD.
The 4th round pick, I love it. Y'all talked about, he didn't Thursday.
See, man, how does TD get smart and then get frozen? See, look, God don't like him.
I think there's a message because there's a karmic message somewhere in there. My point is, it's all fine to say and dandy that he nailed it. He got the guy he wanted and all that. And
good job.
That guy better be a baller from the start.
You froze, TD.
You froze. What were you saying, TD?
Oh, my bad. Where did I leave off?
4th round pick.
The 4th round pick, maybe it was. I don't like anybody really as much on the board anymore. Let me go ahead and stockpile an asset for next year. And I disagree with Omar when you say for the next GM. I'm willing to sit here and tell you that Chris Grier showed such great poise in this draft where he didn't have panic picks. Because if he were panicking, we would have picked in the 3rd and 4th, trying to get as many as we can. But I think he was doing what was best for the long term of the team, which is a good look for him. And that could have extended his life span in Miami. I'm not opposed to picking up that 3rd round pick instead of the 4th. That's a profit, okay? 5th round and all of that, the running back. This was the answer we needed. We are one of the worst teams in the NFL running the ball on 3rd and 4th down. In short, 3rd and short, 4th and short. This is the guy that can help us bulldoze forward. That's what. Do you know how much of a difference even our season could be just picking up those 3rd and 4th and shorts? Do you know how bad it was going for it at midfield and things like that and didn't get it? This was a nice move. The other guys that we picked up, developmental pieces, except that one boy, Quinn Ewers. Man, I don't look like that, Doug.
Anyway, so what?
Nice move.
I got 10 more seconds, and Doug. Oh boy, listen. All I was hearing from a lot of people was, "Oh my gosh, Arch Manning, he's gonna be the truth." Well, we just got the quarterback that Arch Manning couldn't beat out. We just got that dude.
Now. One's 23 years old. The other one's like 17. Come on.
Hey, listen, Quinn Ewers is a developmental piece. I think he's perfect for McDaniel's system. He's not better than Tua. This is my honesty. But if he can develop him properly, the right way, you never know what you can get in this league, because I do know this. He has that dog in him. He got that feistiness. He got that confidence. Yes, he does. Quinn Ewers has it. Now, if it matches on the field with his play, that's going to be up to him to decide in this league. But I like the intangibles with Quinn Ewers. But again, raw talent, got a lot of things that he need to clean up, especially his intermediate passes over the middle, sails them a little bit too high sometimes, and that's to a strength over the middle in the accuracy. So, yeah, man.
These are
Doug, jump in. I mean, this is turning into a monologue. Sorry, TD. Come on, Doug, jump in. I mean, seriously. Come on, Omar.
Do my breakdown, man. We got an hour.
Listen, Gary says Ewers
conversation here going, not just.
And I know